absolute sale kaagad. So in fact, ang unang linabas namin, and I remember this now, is sometime in 2017, pero wala pa pong deed of sale yun kasi parang 40% ang binayaran namin and they have to submit everything, no? Including titles before so that we can commence with the deed of sale. So hindi naman po yan na isang give lang, no? So meron kami talagang mga contract to sell muna, and then when they perfect all the documentation, that's when we pay the entire
Mr.
purchase
Chair,
price.
apologies, but in 2017, your corporation was only worth 1.5 million.
Yes po, because hindi pa po nabebenta yung aming lupa. Kaya nga po tumaas yung aking cash position because nabenta nga po yung lupa.
For 2017.
In 2017 po yan na nabenta, no? So,
This is period covering up to December 2017, Mr. Chair. So at the end of 2017, all transactions for 2017 should have been reflected. And yet, after the sale of land in 2017, 1.5 million lang po yung worth of Biancham, which you claim is the vessel in which you have used to invest in FHBMC worth 35 million in addition to 60 million in cash and 125 million in advances. Mr. Chair, your testimony does not make any sense.
well, it does po, no? Because as I said, pag bumibili naman pa ng lupa, hindi naman cash lahat yan. May mga advance payment po yan.
Mr. Chair, it should have at least reflected as liabilities or payables in your
Well,
AFS.
siguro nga po, maybe that's why, as I said, I'm not a corporate lawyer. Political lawyer po talaga ako, and even an international lawyer, no? That's what I teach, no? So ako naman po, I rely on what the accountants will say, no? Pero makikita nyo naman po, merong effort to reflect somehow kung ano yung mga nangyayari. Kaya nga po nagkaroon ng 60 million cash ang pumasok sa Biancham kasi ipinasok nga po yan intended to purchase property. At ano naman po yan, sumabay naman po yan, Mr. Chair, doon sa panahon na nakuha namin yung proceeds ng bentahan ng lupa namin sa Parañaque, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, unfortunately, for someone such as yourself as a legal luminary, I find it hard to believe that you would be unaware of the infirmities surrounding the failure to report these kinds of things. And in fact, that's the precise point of having an AFS. This is independently audited. You have an auditor for this. So how come you're able to deal willy-nilly left and right between FHBMC, Biancham, together with Green Mile, yet it is not properly reflected? And even if we say it's reflected eventually, you always say that it's going to be fixed in the future. I hope you understand, Mr. Chair, the frustration of how it's very hard to make sense of the story. Because, Mr. Chair, as properly as Chairman Ace mentioned, why we want to look into this, and as I mentioned, why we have to look into your family matters. It's easy to claim yung pamilya po namin nagbenta ng property. It's easy to claim that this property was, this proceeds were used in investing here. But for as long as hindi po siya natatrace sa money trail, I don't know if the committee will accept the explanation na aayusin po namin yan later on, or aayusin po namin yung cash flow investment. Because, Mr. Chair, the most glaring, the most obvious, easily, with an investment of 60 million in cash, which your AFS already mentioned was in subscription, not in FBHMC, but in Biancham itself. For the succeeding GIS, 12.5 million pa rin po yung shares ninyo. Hindi naman po siya nag-increase by 60 million. So there seems to be a disconnect. And Mr. Chair, let me connect this now. If I may conclude, Mr. Chair, I'm sure you and I both are very confused with the allegations. I think, Mr. Chair, what I'm trying to drive at here is that there seems to be some great confusion with the finances. Might not be necessarily of Mr. Attorney Harry Roque, but at least of Biancham, which is alarmingly related in a way, at least with PH2. And why do I say alarming? Mr. Chair, I'd like to bring this back po, no? Yung nabanggit po natin dati. Yung sa previous hearings, which I think, as the Quadcom, as the successor of those individual hearings, we can take notice po of the facts that are mentioned. And I'd like to mention these facts, and I'd like to ask Mr. Roque his thoughts on this as a summary po, no, to really put into light why we're asking these questions. Number one, Attorney Harry Roque represented over Lucky South 99 property.
Mr. Chair, I did not.
You did not. You claim that it is Whirlwind, but it is the same subject property.
Well, it is.
It is.
It is
Okay, thank you,
because
Mr.
there's a contract of lease.
I will tie into that later on.
Yes.
Second fact that I'd like to state, Mr. Harry Roque facilitated Lucky South 99 meeting with Chair Tenko.
Well, Mr. Chair,
You did
I-
this. You had 6 missed calls with Attorney Rivera ba yun?
Yes.
You've set it up. You yourself said when Cassandra Ong met Chairman Tenko, no whirlwind matters were mentioned. It was all purely Lucky South 99.
Mr. Chair, I did so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
because
please allow me
Rafi-
to...
Mr. Chairman,
Allow the member to finish his question first before you reply, Attorney Roque.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair,
Most
proceed.
respectfully, Attorney Roque, I understand that you will have your time to rebut these later. But I hope you understand, as a lawyer especially, that there's a line of questioning that I wish to pursue. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 3, Mr. Harry Roque was cited as legal representative in Lucky South 99 application. This was mentioned by Chairman Tenko. He was cited as legal representative in their organizational chart. May we hear your response on this particular matter, Mr.
Attorney
Chair?
Roque, please.
that was not authorized, Mr. Chair, and I have emphasized it over and over again. And I have said that that paper is only evidence that it exists. It is not evidence of the truth of matters stated therein, as in fact, Attorney Jessa Fernandez said that that information was unverified.
Thank you,
She
Mr.
said
Chair.
that
So
on
it
record.
exists as proper documents with PAGCOR, official applicant office. Mr. Chair, Mr. Harry Roque has bank documents which were discovered in the Lucky South 99 raid. He's already mentioned this earlier. Mr. Chair, number 5, Harry Roque's executive assistant and confidant resided in Lucky South 99 when Porac was raided. As already mentioned earlier. Number 6, Harry Roque's subsidiary, Biancham, owns 99% of PH2, which housed San Liming, Red Notice Interpol suspect who has links and is cited as IT administrator of Lucky South 99. Number 7, Harry Roque's holdings have, well, we still have to discuss this, but I believe, as far as we're concerned, legally, putting aside your story of family, has unexplained increases worth 60 million in cash, 125 million in advances, and 35 million in investments in FHPMC. And lastly, Mr. Chair, the last point was actually about the 35 million. So as I mentioned, why I asked this earlier, it seems to be, for every point when taken individually, Mr. Harry Roque has some explanation. It's either, not to quote this, not to be brash, but you have to understand how much we take this with disbelief na may namatay, they won't be able to testify, it's a family matter, it is private, I have nothing to do with it, I am not the lawyer. All of these are usually plain denials on the part of Mr. Harry Roque. However, what I mentioned earlier, it seems to be that coincidence hounds Mr. Harry Roque. Seems to be coincidence follows him around and could explain everything. But the fact of the matter is, Lucky South 99 seems to hound Mr. Roque. As I mentioned it, he has been representing over the property subject by Lucky South 99. His executive assistant lived in the compound of Lucky South 99 despite living an hour away from the aviation school in Clark. He also has he has arranged the meeting between Cassandra Ong and Chairman Tenko, which he says was supposed to be whirlwind, but as far as we're concerned, and the testimony not by Haroki, but by Chairman Tenko himself, was that all that they discussed was Lucky South 99 matters. And the list goes on and on, the back documents found there. It is mentioned that it's because it is memorabilia of his EA. But the fact of the matter is, Lucky South 99 strikes again. Mr. Chair, of course, I'm not saying this as a final verdict, but I hope you understand, Mr. Chair, that for the Quadcom, we are here to listen to every piece of evidence, and they all seem to indicate one direction. And the missing piece now, I think for me it is clear. I don't know with the rest of the members of the Quadcom. At best, there is a link with Lucky South 99. At worst, this is a terrible, terrible string of coincidence. But one thing that we should ascertain from this point on, why I was reserving my comment for the motion by Congresswoman Luistro to request for the documents of the trust, for the documents regarding the family matters of Mr. Roque. While we understand the want for privacy, Mr. Chair, these coincidences seem like more than just coincidences. And the missing link now, if we see that there's a link with Lucky South 99, the question now is that we have to verify. How do we explain these supposedly, as far as I'm concerned, unexplained increases through his subsidiaries and through his companies? So I think, Mr. Chair, that should be the direction, at least for the portion regarding Mr. Harry Roque. And Actually, Mr. Chair, I still had some questions regarding the leases, regarding Ms. Paterna and his relation with Roque, and we have other questions regarding Lucky South 99. But seeing as we have been now at this hearing for 7 hours, I think I would like to yield to the other interpellators in the hall. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Attorney Roque, for the indulgence.
Mr.
Thank you.